Hi everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Young Voices Big Issues, where we dive into the vast web of international relations. Today we're unpacking China's One Belt One Road initiative. This ambitious plan, it's not just about laying down infrastructure, it's about China laying claim to a 21st century Silk Road. Stretching across Asia, Africa, and Europe, this initiative touches 65% of the global population, involving over 60 countries and 40% of the global GDP. Today, we'll explore how this OBOR, it's not just a game changer for global trade, but it's a geopolitical chess move. Remember, when China builds a bridge, it's not just to cross the river. It's to make sure everyone knows who built it. So buckle up because we're about to journey through a new world order brought to you by the same country that gave us both gunpowder and TikTok. And where does India fit into this grand and complex design? Right in the middle of a highly competitive tug of war. India is planning its own actions while China constructs ports and railroads, being careful of China's circling string of pearls strategy. Similar to a monopoly game, you see, except instead of hotels, China is acquiring highways and nautical lines, while India is eyeing the community chest for its next big play. Now let's talk about the situation closer to home. India has a crucial role to play in influencing both regional and global geopolitics. India's response to China's massive plan, known as the One Belt One Road initiative, is one of the prime examples of how international relations in this region are evolving and will continue to do so in the future. But China wants to restructure global trade routes and economic landscapes in a way that has never been done before. The OBOR initiative is often described as the most extensive infrastructural and investment project in the history of mankind. It aims to connect Asia with Africa and Europe via land and maritime networks along 6 major corridors covering 70 countries with 7,000 projects under this OBOR umbrella, ranging from railways and ports and power plants. Some analysts see this project as an unsettling extension of China's rising power. And as the costs of many of the projects have skyrocketed, opposition has also grown in some countries. Meanwhile, the United States shares the concern of some of the same concerns in Asia that the BRI could be a Trojan horse for the China-led regional development and military expansion. The estimated cost of this project, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up, it's $1 trillion. That's right, folks, $1 trillion. I can barely wrap my head around spending $100 on a new pair of shoes, let alone $1 trillion on infrastructure. Another interesting thing to note is that India has openly declined to take part in the OBOR initiative. The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which crosses the disputed region of Gilgit-Baltistan in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, is the main cause of India's concerns. This has been a major area of controversy between India and China. A large number of countries have also faced significant debt burdens due to the OBOR projects. Sri Lanka, for example, had to lease the Hambantota port to China for 99 years after struggling to repay the debt. It's like leasing your car to a mechanic because you can't pay the repair bill, but on a much larger scale. The OBOR initiative was launched by the Chinese President Xi Jinping in 2013 and is often considered the modern Silk Road. The first cargo train from China to London traveled 12,000 kilometers in 18 days, symbolizing OBOR's reach. The initiative consists of 2 main components: the Silk Road Economic Belt, which links China to Europe through Central Asia, and the 21st Century Maritime Silk Road, which connects China to Southeast Asia, the Indian Ocean, and Africa. The OBOR includes the development of Africa's largest port, the Bagamoyo port in Tanzania. The roads and railways built under OBOR would circle the earth more than 4 times. That's right, 4 times if laid end to end. Historically, the Silk Road was an ancient network of trade routes to connect the East and the West. In order to improve international trade and boost economic growth, not only in Asia but also beyond, the current OBOR initiative is designed to revive and develop these routes. China considers the OBOR as a strategic project which will help establish supply networks, expand its market share, and of course, prove its power on a global stage. OBOR promotes cultural exchange through various educational and tourism initiatives. OBOR projects include energy pipelines, which significantly boost regional energy security. Among participating nations, it also aims to promote economic cooperation and improve connectivity, where OBOR focuses on digital infrastructure, promoting internet connectivity across Asia and Africa. But let's look at the flip side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. India faces both opportunities and challenges as an outcome of the OBOR. India's main concern, as I mentioned, is the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, an OBOR flagship project which passes through Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. India considers this as a strategic move by China to breach its territorial sovereignty. It's like your neighbors trying to build a fence right through your backyard. No one likes that. Let's see how this impacts India's relationship with China. Obviously, the Indian-Chinese relationship has been challenged by the OBOR plan, mainly because of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which is natural. India considers this move as a strategy by China to increase its geopolitical influence in the Indian Ocean region and South Asia. Chinese investments in infrastructure are seen to be a part of a strategic encirclement, which is now called the String of Pearls strategy. What is this strategy? It includes countries like Nepal, Sri Lanka, and Pakistan, and this is a kind of string which can choke if not handled properly. India has adopted multiple strategies as a response to OBOR. First of all, it has declined to take part in any OBOR forums and has publicly criticized this project, through which India is actively seeking to counterbalance China's influence in the region. India has also highlighted how the CPEC threatens concepts of sovereignty and territorial integrity. Secondly, in partnership with Japan, India has worked to strengthen its own connectivity initiatives such as the Asia-Africa Growth Corridor and the International North-South Transport Corridor. These initiatives aim to balance out China's OBOR by offering alternative pathways. Smart, isn't it? But this is not just about opposition. India is also looking at ways to turn the situation to its own advantage. Let's see how. After looking at India's geopolitical position, which is literally like the geopolitical equivalent of scoring front row seats at the hottest concert, India is an important player in regional trade and security dynamics. By improving its own connectivity projects and economic partnerships, India can strengthen its position as a hub for both trade and investment. Currently, China is listed as an ad hoc participant of the Paris Club, a collection of creditor nations. The Paris Club's 22 permanent members, which do not include China, conduct negotiations with debtor countries which are facing difficulties repaying these loans. While the study acknowledges that on the whole, the OBOR initiative was unlikely to cause a systemic debt problem, it still said that significantly increased the risk of sovereign debt default in a large number of countries. India is also capitalizing on growing concerns among other countries about China's debt trap diplomacy, where countries are burdened with unsustainable debts due to the OBOR projects. We just saw Sri Lanka. Furthermore, India's growing economy and large market presents significant opportunities for foreign investment. By improving its infrastructure and ease of doing business, India can attract investments which might otherwise have been directed towards OBOR projects. Imagine India as a magnet, pulling in investments faster than you can say the words Silk Road. So that wraps up our deep dive into the fascinating world of the One Belt, One Road initiative and India's big role in this grand context. As we've seen, OBOR, it's not just about roads and ports. It's about power plays, economic actions, and the age-old dance of geopolitics. The future holds a complex mix of competition and collaboration. Will India and China find a common ground to build bridges, both literally and metaphorically? Or will they continue to build competing highways in their global race for influence? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, the journey ahead will be as twisty as the Himalayan mountain road. From ancient trade routes to digital highways, the story of OBOR is truly a testament to human imagination and ambition. It reminds us that no matter how advanced our technology gets, we're still driven by the same desire to connect, to trade, and yes, sometimes outsmart each other. Let's hope that in this global infrastructural frenzy, no one ends up getting caught in a geopolitical traffic jam. After all, there's nothing worse being stuck behind a slow-moving superpower. if you know what I mean. I'll leave you with a thought from Robert Frost, slightly adapted for our global stage. Two roads diverged in a world, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. As India and China carve out their own unique paths, we can only wait and watch, and perhaps find our own unique journey in this grand, complex puzzle. Thanks for tuning in to my podcast. Stay curious, stay informed, and as always, keep an eye out for those geopolitical maps. They're changing faster than ever. Until next time, happy listening and safe travels on your own roads, wherever they may lead. This is Ishani Agarwal signing off.